Welcome back, guys. Mel here from Mel's Motors. Behind me is a Citroen Relay Horsebox 2018. It's come up with a few faults. It's been to another garage. We've had a few sensors changed, but they've still got issues with it. It's based around the DPF, so we can have a look at it, so we can fix this problem. So the van's up in the air, it's running, that's why it's a bit noisy. I've got my scanner on there, so I'm just going to quickly read the fault codes. So we've got P2033 temperature of the exhaust, got an issue there, and a particulate filter. So they're both coming up as, no, one's coming up as temporary fault, one's a permanent fault. Going to go into data stream and look at the exhaust line. All we want to do is look at temperatures. So as you can see, sorry, there's a bit of a glare there. Right, minus 30 on one of the sensors and 42 degrees on the other. So we have an issue. Once I've got the vehicle running, I'm going to get under there. It's going to be a bit noisy, but I'll try my best to talk you through it. Right at the back there, we've got the plug for the temperature sensors. As you can see, there's two wires coming out at the top of it. So these temperature sensors get changed as a pair. So there's one right at the back there, and there's one further forward here. So my plan is to gain access to the front one there, because it's the easiest one to get to. Going to unplug it with the vehicle turned off, and what I'm going to do is, let me get out from underneath it so you can hear me. So what I'm going to do is take the bottom temperature sensor out. I've got a feeling that's the one that's working, but when I unplug the plug, both of them go to minus figures, so we definitely know one's faulty. It was fitted only a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not sure if these are genuine or aftermarket ones, but unfortunately we can't just change one, so we're going to have to change them as a pair. I've got a feeling that I may have a spare one in reception off another car, so maybe able to chop the wire and just wire that one in, see if we can get it to work. But I'm going to take the bottom one off because I've got it running idle. It's only at 42 degrees, so I'm going to get a lighter, light it up just to make sure that it's one or the other that's not working. Okay, so I've pulled the sensor out. I'm just going to get a lighter and just warm it up and see if we get a temperature increase on this one. The reason I'm only pulling this one out is because I don't know if someone's put these in the wrong way around, because it looks like they'll probably reach both sides. It's difficult to tell, but I'll heat this one up and then we'll see what we see. Right, so you guys are going to look at the scanner and I'm just going to warm the sensor up. Right, so the one that was reading minus 30 is the lower one. So not sure why it keeps going to minus 30. So that was down as a permanent fault, but earlier when I looked at it, it was down as a temporary fault. So I'm not sure why this is staying at minus 30. So I may go for a road test and see if that temperature will change. Okay, so just start driving. Okay, I've just pulled over. We can see temperature gauge is running normal, engine management lights on, and our temperatures are, well, it's dropping now from 52, 50, and the front temperature of the DPF is 130 odd degrees, and that's dropping. So something's not right with that sensor. it should be much higher than that. It should be reasonably close to this one. Not the same, because obviously it's past the DPF and out the other side. So, but it should be reasonably close, and it's nowhere near close. As you can see, we're dropping down. It keeps going down. We're going to probably end up back at 0. I mean, we're getting close to outside temperature now. Right, so that's inside the exhaust, 19, and our outside temperature is 19. So that temperature sensor is definitely faulty. Right, let's go back to the garage and see if we can get another one of these sensors. Right, so we're a few days into this job now. We started it Monday, it's Thursday now. It hasn't taken that long to do the job. Spoke to the customer, found out who the previous garage was that fitted this sensor. Got their details. Fantastic garage, very friendly, very helpful. Spoke to them, so this is the position we're in. We've got a sensor that's faulty. The guy who worked on it was on holiday, but the other partner did spend a couple of days looking for the invoice, see where they got this part from. Anyway, customer was getting fed up, needs the horse box back. They've got horses they need to move. They've told us to get another sensor, so I've got another sensor to go onto this. So now what I'm going to do is go through the procedure of testing before I go through the rigmarole of cutting my arm up trying to get to the top sensor. We're going to plug this new sensor into that plug, see what temperature sensor reading we've got. I've got my scanner there already. See if we're getting similar figures, and then I've got a lighter. We'll just light them up to see if we get any variation in temperature, make sure they're both working before I stick them in. So here's the sensor, one plug, 2 temperature sensors. Unfortunately you can't buy one, it's a double sensor configuration on this one. Hence why I want to test it now side by side as a unit before I stick it back in. Just before I get the other sensor out, just to remind ourselves where we're at. So the lower sensor, which is the one we're having a fault with, is at -30, and the other one's fluctuating around 7.5 degrees. Current ambient temperature, it's quite warm outside, as you can see it's sunny. It's about 23 degrees today, so in theory these should be around ambient temperature, and they're both not. So it looks like I might have 2 faulty sensors. Okay, both sensors are on, and both are reading about 18 degrees. So as you can see, we're reasonably close to the ambient temperature that we currently have today. Okay, so I've warmed them both up. They're roughly about the same, over 100 degrees. So these are both working correctly. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit them. This front one's reasonably easy to get to, but the one at the back, way over there, I think is going to be a struggle. I think I'm going to have a few marks on my arms by the time that's done. Okay, new sensors are in. I haven't started the van yet, but we've just recently driven it in. There's residual heat in the exhaust, so it's picked that up. So I'm going to get one of my guys to start the van up. Start the van. And now we can see the heat's working, so it's going up gradually. Give it some revs. Well, we've just come back from a road test, and you can see is a vast difference in temperature. So we're idling now, so the temperature's dropping there, but yeah, it was well over 400 degrees. I've just come back from the road test, went into limp home. Now we've got DPF warning light on and engine management light on. Just scanned it. Now that we've got accurate readings from the temperature sensor, we can see there's a particulate fault. So what we're probably going to do is just go into the process of doing a regen and just see if we can clear that out. Well, I just swapped over to my Snap-on scanner. For some reason, some of the other scanners don't always like to do regeneration on these Citroen relays, so I'm going to see if I can do it with this one. The regen started now, so hopefully this will complete soon and we'll have no more issues. Right, that was about a half-hour regen, so this is switch ignition off, continue. Right, complete. So it's not ended there. I'm going to go for another road test, come back, make sure there's no faults, double check those temperatures. And once I'm happy, we can let this go. Okay, all back from the road test. Just make sure there's no codes in there. No codes. Just go back and read the data. Exhaust line 3. So we're on idle here, just cooling down slightly. So 236, 289. So that's way above the temperatures we were getting before. So that's fixed. Also, I am just going to see if we can see the soot content of the DPF. Total weight of soot in the particulate filter, 0. So as of right now, we're back to a good clean filter. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. You're wondering why this vehicle came into us and not back to the previous garage. Well, ironically it was in for a different job. We're a class 7 workshop, so we do a lot of bigger vans, horse boxes, camper vans. So it was in for another job, and this just happened to be one of the things to look at. So although it's been to a garage, reputable garage, they've done the job. Unfortunately the sensors failed, so in their minds it was all good. In fairness to them, they did try and help us out, but time became a factor and the customer just needed the van back. So we've repaired it again, we've double checked it and made a video of it. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, the subscribe button and the bell notifications so you're notified next time I upload a video. Take care guys.